Good morning, what's happening? I'm in the middle of trying to bulk record, so I didn't upload a Let's Get Dressed video yesterday, but we were out in the city, which you would have seen in yesterday's video. So I thought, while I'm out in the city, I'll get a nice outfit pic and then I'll re-record or record yesterday's outfit for today's post. So then I'll have a nice thumbnail, and then what I record today can be for tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this up and I'm going to try bulk record for the whole week, so then I can focus on this fucking thing. Anyways, Corinne forgot this bag. Come back over here to the light. So Corinne forgot this here bag and she needs it for work. So I need to grab a cab and go bring it to her.
Hi, Damien.
Yes, sir.
I'm good, you?
Okay, well that was a complete nightmare. So, Uber, did he just cancel? Oh God, I thought he was cancelled. Uber wouldn't bring me to this exact address. There's technically two that have very similar names, but Uber doesn't recognize this one. I'm not going to give the name because then you know where Corinne works for obvious reasons. But Uber, there's two different locations, but Uber doesn't recognize one of them. When you put in the actual name, you have to put in the exact street address. So it took me 20 minutes in the opposite direction. So what would have cost $30 to $40 in an Uber has now cost me $90 in an Uber, because it's instead of it being 2 trips, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 4 trips instead of 2. But nonetheless, it's done. Corinne has her bits for work. I can get home and get back to filming what I need to film for the rest of the week. I have a call with my manager in about a half an hour, but I thought I would just have a little shave just to freshen up before jumping on that call. And yeah, I've talked about shaving on here before, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed all of the time, because too many men are using Mark 3 multi-blade things, and they're absolutely fine. If that's the blade that you're comfortable using, use that. The blade is irrelevant, trust me. The blade means absolutely nothing. It's everything you do before that means everything to your shave. I would always recommend using a fresh blade, whether that is on a multi-blade system like a Gillette Mach 3 or whatever Gillette system you use, or whether you're using a straight razor like this. I would always recommend a fresh blade. Reason for the fresh blade is the old blade, or more so the cartridge that's housing the blade, might have old shaving cream, old hair, old skin cells, and you don't want that going back onto your skin when all your pores are open. Surefire way of getting an ingrown hair or getting a pimple or anything along those lines, because while the pores are open, you're allowing something that you don't want in there. So you have a fresh blade in there, close that up, locked in, easy. Now we run the water, so we want the sink just to have, a little bit of hot water in there, enough to submerge our brush in its entirety. So this is a badger hair brush. If you're vegan or anything like that, there is synthetic options out there. Doesn't really matter if it's badger hair or if it's synthetic, it does the exact same job, but a brush is absolutely essential. It's easily, each and everything that I show you here doesn't need to be the exact same thing that I'm using, but they're each as essential as each other. Just enough in the sink. You don't need a whole lot of water, you just need enough to submerge your brush and to be able to rinse off your razor. While we prep everything else, we're going to allow our brush to completely soak in that water. So what that does is the bristles of the brush are going to absorb all of the water and then make it nice and soft, but then allow us to create a lather with our cream, but we will get to that. Most guys that get a little bit of shaving rash or shaving irritation, it is mostly down to pulling, okay? So I've said this on a vlog before, Your facial hair has about the same textile density as copper wire, so you want to soften that as much as you can. So when you use a good shaving cream and a good shaving brush, it reduces that density, that textile strength from copper wire to something that's much closer to nylon. So if you could imagine taking a blade and trying to cut through copper versus cut through nylon, they're drastically different, and that is the same as cutting your facial hair. So most shaving irritation, shaving rash, anything like that comes from pulling, not cutting, and that's because the skin and the hair is not prepped. The hair is too hard and too coarse, and the blade is not cutting it, so what it's doing is pulling it, and that's what's causing the irritation. The pulling happens, as I said, from the hair being too harsh and too coarse and the blade not being able to cut it finally, or it being too long and it being stuck in the blade or the blade cartridge, and that pulling. So that's where something like a clippers comes in. This is the Braun wet and dry. Any clippers will do. This is just the one that I use. It comes with multiple little head detachments, so I can like shave my nostrils and ears and whatever else I want. It also comes with a variety of guards. This is like a 2, and then this runs from 3 to 11, depending on how long or short you want your beard. Me personally, I'm quite follically challenged. I couldn't grow a full beard if my life depended on it, so that's why I generally just stick to the mustache. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clean up our lip line, and then we're going to basically run the clippers over the entirety of our face, so then we're down as short as we possibly can before we go in with our actual razor and clean shave it. Snotty also, excuse the baseball cap, it's just hiding all of this. Now that we've done all of that, now we can start prepping the skin for our actual shave. Our brush, which has been soaking in hot water. We need a shaving cream. This is the Cade shaving cream from L'Occitane. It doesn't need to be this one, it just needs to be any decent shaving cream. Honestly, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that you're actually using a shaving cream. We've got a little bit of shaving cream in there. We don't need a whole lot because I'm not super hairy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the brush with just the warm water on it, and we're going to run it over the area in which we're going to shave. We're going to soak it once more, and now we're going to create a nice lather in our bowl here. So using our wet brush, just nice circular motions, pushing the brush into the bowl as you circle will help create that lather. Don't worry if there's not a whole lot of lather happening. You can always add more cream into the bowl or add a little bit more water and it'll lather up. So now we just apply to the skin. Again, try pushing and going in circular motions. So what this does is as we're pushing and going in slight circular motions, is the cream is softening the hair, but what the brush is doing is lifting the hair off of the skin, allowing the blade to get a much cleaner strike and a much cleaner cut, and reduces pulling. Pulling equals irritation. We don't want to pull, we want to cut. The other thing you need is a clean, I emphasize clean, face towel. Now cutting with a straight razor or a cutthroat or whatever way you want to call it, what you need to do is take your time and focus on removing the lather. The blade will remove the hair. Don't try cut the hair, just try remove the lather. If you're new to shaving with one of these, the chances are you're probably going to nick yourself a few times. I've been shaving with one of these now pretty much since I've started shaving. I pretty much exclusively shave with one of these, and every so often I'll still nick myself, especially if it's a brand new blade in there. The chances are you'll get a little nick somewhere. So my kind of technique is to start around the sideburns, work my way down and across, and then the same on the other side, down and across. Then I'll look after the chin area, then I'll do the neck, and then I generally do the neck again against the grain and up over the chin against the grain. That's kind of my flow and my technique with it. So as I said, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, there is no time pressure. Shaving should be your time, but shaving, in my opinion, should never be a rush. It should always be therapeutic, it should always be relaxing. It should be a form of self-care, both physically and mentally. Shaving with a straight razor it forces concentration, it forces me to slow down and forces me to focus, so my brain can't really be off thinking of 6 gazillion other things, because I'm focused on shaving and focused on not cutting myself. Going bit by bit, not dragging the blade sideways ever, only ever going up or down. A surefire way to cut yourself is going this direction and not this direction. You also want to rest the actual blade handle itself against the skin. So never like this, like this. And as I said, just focus on removing the lather and the blade will do the rest. So now all that's left is this little kind of niggly bit along the jawline. So generally what I'll do is I'll reach over and stretch. So then this edge becomes really flat when you do that. The next thing we're going to use is, again, this is the Cade range from L'Occitane. It doesn't have to be what I'm using, this is just what I use. This is a post-shaving balm. So just a little dab. Spread it between your palms and then onto the face. So now what we want to do right before we clean up and finish is we want to close the pores. So we've opened up all the pores by using warm water. So now we use cold water to close them up. So this is going to be a bit of a difficult camera angle for me to get, but let me see. Empty the sink, cold water. Just a dab, not rub, but just dab our face dry from that little bit of cold water, which is just locking our pores closed again. Now for arguably the most important part of your shave, and this is even more important if you live with your girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, wife, whatever it is. If you live with other people and share the bathroom with other people, god damn, you better make sure you're cleaning up after yourself. All this gross hair, this grossness, make sure you're cleaning up after your goddamn shave. So remember how I said I was gonna bulk record Let's Get Dressed videos for the week? Well, check out the aftermath. There, 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 there. Watches, lenses, chains, fragrances. What an absolute mess that I need to clean up now. But at least we're done.
Oh my god, do not post this anywhere.
Isn't she cute? The last clip, which I filmed yesterday. I'm all shaven, we're back down to just a mustache, which is how Corinne,
I love it.
which is how Corinne likes it. We're off to play bunco. If you don't know what bunco is, it's Corinne has this like habit. Hey, kitty. Corinne has this habit of collecting old people. And I know that sounds weird, and it is weird.
But the majority of my friends are like over 65. Yeah.
So anyway, somehow I got also roped into hanging out with these 65-year-old ladies. Not all of them are 65, and they're all actually really lovely.
They're awesome.
But basically, what bunko is you have some die, so you get three dice. And then there's rounds 1 to 6, because obviously a dice has 1 to 6 numbers on it. Round 1, you roll all 3, you try to get 1s. If you get 1, it's 1 point. If you get 2, it's 2 point. If you get 3, that's bunko. But you can also get 3 of non-numbers. So if you're trying to roll for a 2s, and you get, say, like 3 4s, for example, where's the other 4?
That's a triple, so that's 5 points.
If you get 3 4s, if you roll like 3 4s like this, even though you're trying to roll for 2s, it's a triple, so it's 5 points, and you get to roll again. You continue rolling until you roll the 3 dice and it doesn't show up any number that you want. If you're trying to roll for, say, 3s and you get 3 trees, that's a small forest.
How many points is it?
That's bunko. The game ends and
well, no.
the round ends when you get a bunko.
Only if you're at the head table. Only if the head table gets a bunko, because then they hit 21 points.
Yeah.
But if you roll bunko at another table...
So you get 21 points for a bunko, and if you're at the head table, you get 21 points. And the round ends, and then you move on to the next one. So if that was 3s, now you're rolling for 4s, and then so on, and so on. It's generally really fun. Don't tell the IRS, but we do actually play for money. And that is what we're going to do for the evening. Also, you may have seen it in one of the New York vlogs. I bought one of these here 360 cameras, but this here little thing can mimic a drone shot. Obviously not as high as a drone, but you can get somewhat similar kind of B-roll shots from getting to A to B to progress the storyline of these vlogs onwards, and so on and so on. Anyways, it came with this here invisible selfie stick. It took me till pretty much today to figure out how to extend it, which I did figure out. So, as Corinne has stolen my navy jacket, which I was going to wear, you can wear it if you want.
No, I just wanted to wear it to school. You can, I liked your outfit, you shouldn't change it.
Well, I need to change these trousers because they're filthy.
Yeah, but you're still gonna be wearing
I'm still wearing white
outfit.
trousers,
yeah.
yeah.
You should wear the outfit we wore earlier.
You can wear that if you want.
What are you gonna wear?
I do not know. I do want to wear a baseball cap. I'm not going to wear this one because it's black, so maybe I'll wear this one.
Wear that one.
Because it's navy. And then because of the symbol on it. Also,
What?
Isn't it hilarious how I have a Seattle Kraken's hat?
Yeah.
I have a New York Yankees hat.
Yes.
And I have a Portland Trail Blazers hat. So I'm just collecting team hats from different sports.
That you don't watch.
That I don't watch. Because of the time zone difference, I don't even watch that live anymore. And also, I'm a Manchester United fan, and watching Manchester United play is a form of self-harm.
It hurts you.
So I try not do that, because the games here are on early in the day, and then it kind of puts me in a bad mood for the day because they're so bad. So anyways, we're gonna go play bunko, and we will check back in when we're home from bunko, because I'm obviously not gonna bring my camera to a 65-year-old lady's house and film the inside of her private space. And yeah, you get it. You get it.
They get it.